Hi everyone, welcome to Vidya's Prophecy Tarot. This is your summer solstice reading for all signs, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. If it doesn't resonate, please check your other placements, okay? Don't force it to fit. And do keep in mind that these are general readings. They're not going to be everybody's story, okay? And if some parts resonate, just take those, okay? So let's see. Let's start with Cancer, as it's Cancer season. Happy birthday, Cancer. Let's see what's in store for you this summer solstice. What is the message for Cancer? What's the message for Seven of Cups? What is the message here for Cancer? Ten of Cups. And one more. Ace of Wands. Wow, okay. With the Knight of Swords. So someone could be approaching you, Cancer, with this Knight of Swords energy, right? Coming to reveal something. The Seven of Cups is all about illusions, okay? And it has to do with family, with this Ten of Cups. Some of you could hear something that's confusing, that makes you question ties, to family. And you may start looking into a possibility of something new, okay? Let's see. Why is the Seven of Cups there? Why is the Seven of Cups there? Eight of Wands and the Hermit. So this illusion about family, right? It could be about moving on from them, okay? With the Hermit going within and thinking about what it is you want. Some of you could be thinking of moving away from family, yeah? Let's look at this Ten of Cups. Where's the Ten of Cups? So the Knight of Wands. And one more. Where's the Ten of Cups there for Cancer? Eight of Swords. Yeah, some of you want to move on from family quite quickly with that Knight of Wands energy. It's like you want to move fast, but you feel like you're trapped or you're stuck, okay? You feel like you can't do this. There's confusion. I feel you want to move towards something new. Let's look at this Ace of Wands. Why is the Ace of Wands there for Cancer? Queen of Wands. And the Seven of Wands. Yeah, you're determined to start something new. Okay, if this is love, then there's a new opportunity here with someone. You're determined to have this. But obligations to family could be, you could be feeling like you're stuck in place, right? You really want to move on, but you don't know how to do it. Okay. Now, let's look at this. And maybe this is about speaking up to family that you want to do this, okay? That you want to move on. Let's look at this Eight of Wands. Yeah, the Moon. You're keeping it hidden that this movement is, that you want this, Let's look at the Hermit. The Fool, yeah. Dreaming of a new start for yourself. Cancer. Some of you could be thinking of moving away from family to take up a job somewhere. Let's look at the Knight of Wands. Wheel of Fortune, and I'm going to take this Four of Pentacles. There's too many there. So you want to move on with this Wheel of Fortune. You could feel like it's time as well to leave family, okay? Some of you, especially if you're young, maybe you want to go out and explore the world, or you think it's time to leave to explore other opportunities for yourself. You feel with this Four of Pentacles that you've held yourself back, staying with this family for long enough, okay? It's left you feeling like you can't move, like you can't take opportunities. Let's look at the Eight of Swords. Yeah, the Hanged Man. There's a feeling of stagnation here. Feeling like you've just been, stuck, okay? stuck dealing with this family. Okay, let's look at the Seven of Wands. The Five of Wands reversed. You don't want to fight though. You don't want drama, but you do want to move on. Okay. You want to leave this family behind. That's what I'm getting. Well, let's see. What's the advice for Cancer here? What is the advice here? What is the advice? What is the best way to let this family know? What's the advice here for Cancer? What's the advice here? Seven. Oh, Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. So it's the advice is to be a little strategic here. Okay, with that Seven of Pentacles, it's patience. Biding your time. With the Seven of Swords, not revealing everything. Okay. We do have the King of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So it's, it's about you being decisive and clear in going for what it is you want. But you're being asked to be a little, I wouldn't say sneaky, but a little circumspect with what you share with family. Okay, like you want to leave and you have something else you want to go towards, whatever this Queen of Wands represents to you. But you're being urged to maybe not reveal all of that to family. Okay, they may not support you. And they may just keep throwing hurdles in your way. So that's what I've got for you, Cancer. So it's about being patient and a little strategic. Okay. Okay. Let's move on to Leo. Okay, Leo. What is the message? Summer solstice message for Leo. What's the summer solstice message here for Leo? What is the message for Leo? We've got two there. King of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and one more. The Magician. Okay, it sort of fell sideways. Okay, I'm going to take that sideways. So Leo, you could be thinking about your job, commitments, okay, financial stability. With the High Priestess, though, there could be secrecy around this. You're not revealing everything. Okay, with the Magician, it feels like you're not sure how to manifest it. Because it sort of fell sideways. I feel like you're not sure how to manifest this, okay? And so you're keeping things quiet. Some of you could be considering a new job. Let's see. Yeah, I think when it comes to some sort of commitments, either in job or personal life, there's secrecy around that. Let's look at this King of Pentacles. Why is that there for Leo? Why is the King of Pentacles here for Leo? The Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords. Yeah, you're not sure, Leo, about these commitments. I mean, you want to declare your feelings or your intentions. Okay, if it's a job, you want to go towards it. If it's a person, you'd like to commit, but you're thinking about this. Let's look at the High Priestess. What is this? Nine of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, you're keeping it silent because I think whatever this new opportunity is, Leo, you've got to be sort of single to go for this. Okay, so if it's a job, you got to be, you got to separate yourself from that. Or if it's there's an element of just going for this alone, and so you're keeping it to yourself. Okay. Yeah, let's go to the Magician. Why is that there? Two of Pentacles and one more. We've got the Devil and Judgment. Yeah, with the Emperor. So it's about you making up your mind to go for this. And as I said, the Magician fell out sideways. So it felt like you're not sure yourself. Okay, with the Two of Pentacles going back and forth. The Devil is the energy of feeling like you can't do something. feeling trapped, right? And with Judgment, it's about having that realization. So for some of you, you could feel that finances are preventing you from going for this, okay? Like maybe you have to leave a job to pursue something else, and you feel you can't because financially you can't leave that job, okay? There's some recognition of the fact that going for this new opportunity is problematic, okay? And it has to do with your financial security. But I think with the Emperor, Leo, it's about you recognizing that you can do, you're in charge here, okay? And if you truly want this, there will be a way to work around this. That's what I'm getting. Let's see. Let's look at this Page of Swords, or the Princess of Swords. Where's that there? Six of Wands. Yeah, you're concerned about how people will think of you, okay? You're concerned what they're going to think of you. Let's look. And if this is a job, then some of you have heard about a position, like a promotion, okay? And you want to go for this. Let's look at the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune. There's a brand new opportunity here, which is very fortunate. But you have to go for it alone. Whatever group of people you're dealing with, you're going to have to leave them behind, okay? But then it could be very financially stable here, Okay, let's look at the Two of Coins. King of Swords, the Hierophant, and the Three of Swords. I think you're going back and forth because, Leo, you don't want to hurt other people, okay? Whoever's in this Hierophant situation with you, you know that in going for this, you're going to let them down, okay? And that's sort of keeping you stuck. You don't want to do this. You don't want to hurt these people. Let's look at the Devil, the Hermit. Some of you could feel that you're being selfish in going for what it is you want. The Hermit is a very loner energy. You could feel that you're being selfish, Let's look at Judgment. Ace, Chariot, and what is this? The Star, the Chariot, and the Ace of Wands. Yeah, I think you recognize that you need to go for this opportunity by yourself, but with this Eight of Swords, again, you feel like you can't do this. That's a Devil energy there, okay? Making you feel like you can't do this. Let me get one more card on the Devil. Yeah, Death. See, you think that it's selfish of you to change things, to end the current status quo, okay? Because that could be working for other people. It's not working that great for you, but you feel like maybe you're being selfish if you go for this new opportunity, okay? And that's holding you in place there. Okay, let's see. What is the advice for Leo? What's the best way for Leo to tackle this situation? What is the advice here for Leo? We've got Strength, King of Swords, and the Eight of Wands with the King of Pentacles. So I think when it comes to this, this opportunity that you want to go towards, Leo, here you are with the Strength card, okay? It's about having the courage to be decisive here with the King of Swords, okay? And with the Eight of Wands to move forward towards what it is you want. So you're being encouraged to make this happen, to go for this, okay? Because this fear of causing heartbreak, it's just the Devil energy trying to hold you back, okay? And you're being asked to be decisive and go for this. Whatever it is, if these people are hurt by this situation, they will get over it, okay? But in the meantime, you don't want to miss out on something that is very promising for you, okay? If it's a relationship, a job, whatever, yeah, there's a lot of abundance here, and your financial security as well, right? There's like a chance, like a once in a lifetime chance, okay, to be very financially stable. So don't miss out on it, okay? That's what I've got for you, Leo. Let's move on to Virgo. Okay. Okay, what is the energy of the summer solstice for Virgo? What's the message here for Virgo? Summer solstice message for Virgo. What is the message for Virgo? Okay, what's the message here? Five of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, and one more. Ten of Wands. Oh, no, wait, there's two. Queen of Cups, Ten of Wands. And we've got the High Priestess. Okay. So there's secrecy here, Virgo. There's regret as well, okay? And it's all not being spoken about. It's, if this is you, you're keeping this to yourself, that you are, there's something you're missing, or there's someone, or you regret something, okay? But you're not speaking up about it. Maybe you regret not being single, okay, for some of you. Or you could regret being single. But this is an energy of someone who is abundant and happy to be single. So I don't think you regret. I think this is what you're missing, okay? With this Queen of Cups and the Ten of Wands, there's something you feel burdened by having to nurture a situation as well, okay? You just want to be done with it. Okay, let's look at this. They're keeping it very quiet. For some of you, you know, I'm just drawn to this loss in pleasure. You could even be depressed. Okay, there could be some depression that you're keeping to yourself. Let's look at that Five of Cups. Where's that there for Virgo? What is, oh, I've got three. Got the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Chariot. Yeah. With the Hanged Man. So you're filled with regret, okay? You want to speak up maybe, okay? Some of you could be leaving a spouse, or you regret moving on from someone who would have been a good spouse or something like that, okay? Now let's look at this Nine of Pentacles. Ace of Wands and Temperance. Yeah, I think some of you want to be single so that you can pursue something or someone, you know? And there's regret that you're not. Some of you could be in a commitment, okay, or tied up in some other way. With this Queen of Pentacles, you could even have a part to play, right? Like, you know, you could be a spouse, okay? And yeah, I feel like there's regret for moving on from someone. Okay, let's look at this Queen of Cups. Maybe this Queen of Cups. Let's look at this Queen of Cups and the Ten of Wands. What is that there? The Knight of Cups. And, ooh, what is this? The Hermit reversed. Yeah, I think you've had a recognition, Virgo. You want to move towards someone, right, with this Knight of Cups. If you haven't been talking to this person, or I think you're in separation because we have the High Priestess there, so there's silence. You kind of want to come out, you want to approach this person. There's something about the situation with this person that is leaving you feeling very burdened with regret. And I think it's that you may have moved on from them, you know. I feel you've moved on from this person who you now see as this Queen of Pentacles, right? Maybe an ideal partner, okay? Could even be an ex-spouse of yours, I'm not sure. But you regret moving on from this person. Now, let's see. Let's look at this Chariot. Or actually, let's look at this Prince of Swords. What is that? Why is the Knight of Swords there for Virgo? Queen of Swords. Yeah, you see the truth here, okay? That there's a recognition of some sort of truth. Let's look at this Queen of Pentacles. King of Cups, Queen of Wands, and the Ten of Wands. I think you do have feelings for someone, Virgo, that you want to move towards. Some of you aren't already in a commitment, though. Let's look at the Chariot. So yeah, Three of Cups. Okay, so for some of you, this is a third party, and you wish to leave someone else behind. Okay, and it's filling you with regret that you're not single. Yeah, let's look at Temperance. The Six of Pentacles. Yeah, when it comes to feelings, you wish you were single so that you could reciprocate to somebody else, a third party, this Queen of Cups, okay? Who is, could be a Cancer, but is someone outside of your connection. That's what I feel. Now let's look at this Hermit reversed. Yeah, Five of Wands. Where's the Hermit reversed? The Nine of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords. Yeah, you know what? You'd like to speak up here, okay? I think it's that you want to be single. But you're aware that that's going to lead to a lot of conflict because this is a third party, okay? You're already committed somewhere, Virgo. Okay, so let's see. What is the advice for Virgo here? What's the advice? What is the best way for Virgo to handle this situation? What's the advice here for Virgo? Ace of Pentacles and Death. Yeah, I think the fact is that you do have to end something to have something else. Okay, it's about transformation and change. And with the Ace of Pentacles here, I feel this is a brand new opportunity that is really good for you. And I think you're being advised to make the change, okay? Because if you really don't want to be there, then it's a devil situation, right? It's just something that is keeping you stuck, you know? So it could even be a codependent relationship, but I think you're being urged to leave that behind, Virgo. Okay, so that's what I've got for you. And let's move on to Libra. Okay. What is the summer solstice message for Libra? Message for Libra. Summer solstice message for Libra. What is the message here for Libra? Five of Pentacles. King of Cups. And the Hierophant. Libra, you could feel that you're at a crossroads here, okay? With this Five of Pentacles, it feels like a real feeling of lack, right? Troubles, poverty, a feeling of being shunned. And then we've got the King of Cups. So I think you do have feelings for someone. You could be feeling like you don't have enough to offer this person, okay? Because you are in love, Libra, but you may feel like you don't have enough to offer this person, okay? Like some of you want to offer the commitment, but you feel like you can't do that because you don't have enough money, okay? Something of the sort. Yeah. Okay. Why is the Five of Pentacles there for Libra? Why is the Five of Pentacles there for Libra? Why is the Five of Pentacles there for Libra? King of Cups. Three of Swords. Oh, Libra. This is causing a lot of heartbreak for you, okay? You feel like you don't have enough to offer this person. Yeah, you know, when it comes to with this Three of Coins, building a life together, you feel like you can't offer this person much. And I think it's monetarily or in terms of assets or something like that. And this is very heartbreaking for you, okay? Let's look at this King of Cups, Knight of Wands. There's a King of Cups there. Four of Wands. You want to move, you love this person, Libra, and you want to move quickly into some kind of, I think some of you want to move in with this person, or you want to move in with this person, okay, who you love, and you want to do this fairly quickly, but you feel like you don't have the resources, okay, to do this. Yeah, and this person could be, with this Nine of Pentacles energy, someone you see as having a lot, right? This is a very independent, happy to be independent kind of energy. So I think this is the person you're in love with, and they seem to have a lot. You want to move in with them, but you feel like you can't, maybe you think you can't pay or share the bills or something like that, That's, why is the help in there? Seven of Swords, and one more. The Six of Cups, the Four of Swords, with the King of Pentacles. Yeah, I think this is about a commitment, okay? You want to commit to someone. You're thinking about this commitment, and this person is someone from your past or a soulmate, okay? With the Seven of Swords, though, I think there's some self-delusion here, Libra. I do think that, okay? Your belief about love, commitment, or this person, there's something that you're kidding yourself with. Maybe this person doesn't care, okay, about money or something, but you're putting a lot of emphasis on that, and you think that you're coming up short there. There's some, I feel like there's some self-belief that you have that is not true here, okay? And it has to do with what you can provide. If you're a masculine Libra, I feel you feel like you need to be this King of Pentacles. You need to be the provider here. And this person seems to be very successful, and you feel like you can't provide to this person. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm getting. Let's see. Let's look at this Three of Swords. The Hermit. See, you're very focused on this, You're focused on this Three of Swords. But I think it's a self-delusion. I think if you talk to this person, they're not really going to care, okay? Let's look at this Seven of Swords. Actually, let's look at this Four of Wands. Why is this Four of Wands there for Libra? Nine of Pentacles. See, that person's independent, okay? They're successful. You want to move in with this person. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, with the Ten of Cups, you want to commit, you want to be in a family dynamic with this person, and you just feel like you don't have enough. Let's look at the Seven of Swords. There's the Seven of Swords there for Libra. Page of Cups reverse. See, this not going towards this person because you think you don't have enough. That's the lie. That's the self-delusion, okay? Libra, you're at a crossroads, right? We have the crossroads card again here, and we've got it here. So don't make the wrong choice. You're telling yourself a lie here. You may regret not moving towards this person with an offer of commitment, okay? Just because you think you don't have enough. You could come to regret that. Let's look at that Four of Swords. Oh, 1 second. Okay, sorry, that fell on the floor. So yeah, we've got the Five of Pentacles again, constantly thinking about this, okay, thinking about things that you're lacking, focusing on it feels like an insecurity that you feel like you can't match up to this person financially, okay, your partner, whoever it is, or the person you want to propose. I feel like the feminine energy here is better off. And the masculine is feeling very insecure about that, okay, constantly focusing on what they don't have. But that's a lie, and I don't have a card of regret here, but I feel that will happen if you don't move towards this person, okay? Because if you don't propose or whatever towards them, then I think, they might just think you don't care and move on. Okay, so let's see. What is the advice for Libra here? What is the advice for Libra? What is the advice here for Libra? How should Libra approach this? What's the best advice for Libra? Judgment, Ten of Wands. Judgment, okay. I might need to get another card on that just to be sure. What is Judgment? Why is Judgment there for Libra? Why is Judgment the advice here for Libra? 5 of Wands. 6 of Wands. I think the thing is, Libra, you're very worried about how things are going to come across. I think we're talking about a masculine Libra who's got a bit of an ego, okay, and is concerned about what people will think if they get into a relationship with someone who has more money than they do, okay. But I think it's with this Judgment and the 5 of Wands, it's to have that realization that there will be competition for this person with the 5 of Wands, okay. That's what I was saying before. Like, I feel like if you don't do this, someone else who's more confident might throw their hat in the ring, okay, and it's like, and then you could regret this. Like, I feel like with this current energy, I feel like Libra, this person may not care, okay, about your money situation, and I feel like if you don't go towards them purely because you think you don't have enough and you're listening to your insecurities, you could regret that. There could be other people interested in this, okay, person. So yeah, just be aware of that. Okay, so that's Libra. Let's move on to Scorpio. Oh, it's quite warm. Okay, Scorpio. What is the summer solstice message here for Scorpio? What's the message for Scorpio? Summer solstice. What's the message here for Scorpio? Summer solstice message for Scorpio. 7 of Wands. And what is this? Queen of Pentacles and the 8 of Swords. So there's a decision. Okay, someone's making a decision. It has to do with partnering up, I feel, with this Queen of Pentacles. Okay. With this 7 of Wands, it feels like somebody wants to fight for this, okay, but they could feel like their hands are tied here with this 8 of Swords. But these are all sword, these are swords, so it's thoughts, so it's a kind of mindset maybe that's keeping someone stuck. Let's see. What is the message here for Scorpio? Summer solstice message. Why is the 7 of Wands there for Scorpio? Move that there. Okay. Why is the 7 of Wands there for Scorpio? We've got the Empress. Okay. One more. 8 of Pentacles. Okay. Let's get a couple of cards on the Queen of Pentacles. Why is that there? Page of Swords. Sorry, Page of Pentacles. Oh my god, that's too many. I'm going to get... Okay, one more. Can I just get one card on the Queen of Pentacles? Page of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. Okay, and let's look at this 8 of Swords. What is that? 5 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, and the Prince of Pentacles with the Magician. Okay. So someone's focused on this Empress energy. Okay, something they see, a new life, maybe a new chapter. They're determined to go for this. When it comes to partnering up, I feel they want to move towards this Queen of Wands, okay, who might be this Empress. But they feel like their hands are tied here. And again, with this 5 of Pentacles, it could be insecurities, okay. With this 10 of Cups, maybe feeling that family will not support this. I feel this person with this Knight of Pentacles energy, they're very much a family-focused individual. Okay, this person is very committed to their family, and they could feel that family would not support this. And so they're not sure what to do. They really want someone to be their spouse, this Queen of Wands. They're focused on this, but they feel like their hands are tied, okay. Okay, let's see. I think they feel their family are not going to support this. Let's look at this Empress. Page of, what is this? 5 of Cups, Page of Swords. Why is the Page of Swords there? 7 of Pentacles. They're thinking about something that they've learned, maybe. Okay. Why is the 5 of Cups there? 2 of Wands. Yeah, I think this person was at a crossroads. Maybe this Empress opportunity is in the past, right? Maybe they let that person go for all you know. Okay. Maybe because family didn't approve. Let's look at this Queen of Wands. Or let's look at this Page of Pentacles. What is that there? Yeah, the Sun. They see their happiness with this person. Might be a Leo. Let's look at the Page of Pentacles again. Yeah. It's also obvious to them that people are not going to support them. Okay, moving towards this Queen of Wands. They may have, yeah, with the 10 of Swords, that people are going to think, the family are not going to approve of this. Okay. Let's look at this 5 of Pentacles. 8 of Cups, yeah. I think they'll have to leave. I think it feels like a choice between family and this Queen of Wands, okay? And this person feels that they'd have to leave their family behind, that they'd be shunned. And they're very much a family person. That's what I'm getting here. Like they're very committed to their family. And so they've left this Empress opportunity behind. Let's look at the 8 of Pentacles. Yeah. Focused on their commitments, you know, maybe finances. And their responsibilities. I feel this person has a lot of responsibilities to family. Okay, and they're focused on that. Let's look at that Queen of Wands. Why is she there? Scorpio, 9 of Cups here. This is someone they greatly desire to partner up with, but they're just worried about family. Okay. Scorpio, this could be you. Well, I don't know. What is the message? What is the advice here then for Scorpio? If Scorpio is making this decision, what's the advice for Scorpio? What is the advice here? What's the best way for Scorpio? What's the best way forward for Scorpio? Three of Cups with the 7 of Pentacles. I think it's to be patient and to really get your ducks in a row, Scorpio. Okay, if this is you. With this 3 of Cups, you're being urged to go for what it is you want. Okay, if it's this Queen of Wands or whatever. But you're being urged also to think about this carefully with the 7 of Pentacles. And there may need to be some kind of planning in place. Okay. For example, if your family are concerned about finances, then maybe there needs to be a prenup or something like that. Okay, so there could be some sort of planning that is required here. And you could be urged to not just rush towards this person, but actually plan and take your time here. Okay, that's what I've got for you. So that's Scorpio. And let's move on to Sagittarius. Okay. What is the summer solstice message for Sag? What's the summer solstice message for Sagittarius? What is the message here for Sagittarius? Got death. Okay. And let's see. Message for Sag. Ace of Pentacles. And the Chariot. Well, it is Cancer season. Okay. And we do have Justice at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So there's massive change on the horizon here. There's some sort of change, okay? But with Justice here, it tells me that it's things righting itself. Fairness being restored, okay, to a situation maybe. So there's an ending here There is a new opportunity, right? The death card usually symbolizes endings and new beginnings, and here is the new beginning straight away. And with the Chariot, it's just about going for this, okay? Yeah, there's like real purpose here, Sag. There's real purpose here. There's an ending with a view to having this new beginning, and then just going very purposefully for this, okay? Okay. Let's see. Some of you could be a bit nervous about this transformation energy with death. Change can be scary, right? Let's see. What is death there for Sag? Knight of Swords. And the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, I mean, something that you have been in for a while may be ending, Sagittarius, okay? Or you've recognized that it needs to end. It could be a job even, right? For many of you, it could be a job. There's a recognition that this needs to change, you know. Let's look at this Ace of Pentacles. Where's that there? Four of Cups and one more. Eight of Cups, yeah. If some of you have been unhappy at a job, you recognize that it needs to end, that there is a new opportunity, okay, and that you want to go towards it. Now let's look at the Chariot. The Lovers, yeah, it's about making that choice, okay. And the Magician, yeah, making that choice, literally, right? So I think once you make that choice, Sag, then you're going to move forward quite purposefully, okay? But making that decision to walk away from something that has not been satisfying is what's really holding you in place there, okay? This ending energy, I feel, is, although you recognize that it has to happen, I think it's quite frightening. Let's look at the Knight of Swords. Yeah, Ten of Wands. This is so done now, okay? It's just heavy. It's oppressive. You've outstayed your welcome here, okay? Like it's gone past its expiry date. Okay, it's time to end it. Let's look at the Four of Cups. Three of Cups, yeah. Some of you are not even interested in meeting friends. There's so much apathy. Some of you, if it's a job, you don't like your co-workers, okay? Or you're bored with them. You don't want to mix with them. Let's look at this Eight of Cups. Yeah, Six of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Three of Swords. You have to leave this behind. For some of you, it could be a job that you've been in for ages, okay? Maybe even with friends, people. But now you're bored. You've outgrown them, okay? The whole situation's stale. And there is a new opportunity here that you can go towards. Now let's look at the Lovers. Why the Lovers there? Ace of Swords and Temperance. Yeah, this is you, Sagittarius. You know the truth. You know what you want to do. And it's about having the courage to make that choice, okay? Let's look at the Magician. Justice, yeah. Do the right thing here, okay, for yourself. You've got Justice twice. You can make this happen. You can be happy. But you've got to make the decision to go for the change, you know. That's what I've got here. Because right now I feel you're sitting in this Four of Cups energy where you're just bored, but you can't bring yourself to do anything about it, right? Well, you have to do something with the Magician, okay? And then I think you'll be very happy with the outcome. So I'm not getting any advice for you because it feels like it's pretty clear from here that you've got to just make this change, okay? Okay, so that's Sagittarius. And let's move on to who's next? Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn. Summer solstice energy for Capricorn. What is the message here for Cap? Cappies, what's the message here? Summer solstice energy for Capricorn. What's the message? I've got, oh, I've got 3. Okay, 10 of Cups, 8 of Swords, and the Queen of Cups. With the 5 of Wands. Okay. So, Capricorn, there's conflict here, okay? There could be a lot of drama within a home. There's drama, and it could leave you feeling a loss of control here, okay? You could be feeling this drama. It feels like a very stressful time, right? Like a lot of fights in the home. And with this Queen of Cups, now I feel this is you. You're nurturing, you're kind. I think you've been in a nurturing situation within this home, but there's a lot of conflict and drama with somebody else, okay? And I think it's got you worried, like stressed. Okay. Why is this 10 of Cups there for Capricorn? Ace of Swords. And one more. 10 of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, it is within a home, okay? Let's look at... I feel there's a lot of sharp words with that Ace of Swords and the 5 of Wands as the underlying energy. A lot of very sharp, nasty words in this home. Yeesh. Okay. Let's look at this 8 of Swords. King of Swords, 8 of Wands. Yeah. I think you know that you would like to leave all of this behind, Capricorn. Okay. And for some of you, I almost feel like you're in a home with this King of Swords, you know. Because I felt you came up as this Queen of Cups. I think some of you are in a home with the King of Swords, who could be an Aquarius, but just someone very detached, right? Someone very detached. They may want to move on, okay? Or this person wants to move towards something quickly. And there's fights because you don't agree with this. You don't agree with this. Whatever they want to move towards, you don't agree. And as a result, there's a lot of sharp words. Okay, this person wants to move quickly. Let's see. Why is the Queen of Cups there? Why is the Queen of Cups there for Capricorn? 4 of Swords. The Devil and Death. Capricorn, there you are. So I think some of you feel that this person should stop and think, okay? Like, because it feels like they are making a decision very quickly. You feel that it needs some thinking about, Capricorn, okay? It could be about something that is ending in your life, or a big connection, right? Or a big transformation of some sort that this person wants to do quickly, and you feel it should be considered slower. And because of that, there's conflict here, okay? Okay. Let's look at that Ace of Swords. Where is that there? The King of Wands. Yeah, it's this person who is quite aggressive with their words, okay? Let's look at this King of Swords. Ooh, that's too many. Okay. This person wants to pursue something with this 8 of Swords and the Ace of Wands. They want to, and because they have this something, it could be a job or whatever, something, a move, you know, some passion thing that they're passionate about. They want to move quickly, okay? And I feel like you don't agree with that. Let's look at this 8 of Wands. Yeah, Page of Cups. They want to move towards it quickly. Now let's see, what is the Devil? Why is the Devil there? 8 of Pentacles. See, you're a much more methodical, slower energy, Capricorn. You think that this person should take a time out with the 8 of Pentacles, study this opportunity. You know, but they're very, this person just makes up their mind pretty quickly. That's what I feel. Why is Death there? The 7 of Swords. And one more. The Devil again, and the Magician. So I think some of you feel that this person is fooling themselves, or they're not seeing the truth. Okay. Oh, we've got one more, the Knight of Pentacles. It could even be in the realm of a work, of a job. Like you could be in a home with this person, they want to change jobs, or they want to move for a job or something, and it's something that they're making very quickly, and you feel that they should take a time out and think about this. Okay. Yeah. Be careful that you don't manipulate this person at this juncture. Okay. Some of you, because you think they're moving hastily, you could be tempted to manipulate this person. Okay. Yeah. Okay. What is the message? What is the advice here for Capricorn? What is the advice here for Capricorn? Four of Pentacles. High Priestess at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Capricorn, I feel it's about holding back, okay, and keeping things to yourself with the High Priestess energy. The Four of Pentacles is holding back. So I think you're being urged to hold back from engaging in fights with this person, okay? Because I feel like some of you could be tempted to manipulate this person because you think that they're moving too quickly, okay? Yeah, you're being urged not to do that. With the High Priestess, it's about inner knowing and wisdom. I think you've got to know when to let someone make their own decisions, and, you know, and just trust that that's the right thing, okay? Because I feel like with this Devil and the Magician, that's not a good combination, and I do think that some of you are tempted to try and manipulate this person. Okay, actually I'm going to get a card on that Devil. Why is that Devil there? Yeah, Knight of Cups, that they're moving towards something. Let's look at why is the Magician there. Nine of Cups, something they greatly desire, and some of you could be trying to manipulate this person away from that. Okay, so be careful, because I mean that could rebound on you very badly. Okay, so that's what I've got for you, Capricorn. Let's move on to Aquarius. Gosh, it's so warm here. Okay, what is the message for Aquarius? So summer solstice, message for Aquarius. Message for Aquarius. Sun, Six of Cups, and one more. Justice, wow. With the Magician, wow. Aquarius, you're doing it all, okay, with the Magician. With Sun, you're trying to do what makes you happy here. And for some of you, happiness lies somewhere maybe where you grew up, or with someone you've known a long time. Okay, with Justice, some of you could be wanting to make something official, because beneath the Magician, we've got the Hierophant, okay? So some of you could be looking to commit, maybe with a childhood sweetheart or something like that, okay? Let's see. Maybe planning a summer wedding. Wow, okay. Message for Aquarius. Okay. Why is the sun there for Aquarius? The Emperor and Judgment. Yeah. You know what makes you happy, Aquarius. Okay, and I think you want to go for it. Now let's look at Six of Cups. Why is that there? There's a Six of Cups there. Yeah, the Four of Cups and the Knight of Cups. You're going back to your past here, okay? Some of you are at a crossroads about going back to your past. Okay, hold on a sec. Let me get a card on. Why is Justice there? The Seven of Cups. Oh gosh. Okay, that took a turn. Okay. So I'm getting that some of you actually don't want to commit, okay? With this Four of Cups and the Knight of Cups, you're not interested in making a offer. Maybe some of you feel you're being manipulated into a commitment and you're not keen on that, okay? Maybe there's someone in your past that you would rather reconnect with. Or if this is a childhood sweetheart, then you're not interested in making some kind of offer there, okay? You know what makes you happy though here with the Emperor and Judgment, right? And with this Seven of Cups and the Ten of Wands, it feels like this issue about a legal tie is something that is, you want to be done with this, but you don't know how to be done. Maybe you have to let someone down, okay? Someone that you think could be, I feel some of you feel that you're being manipulated into a commitment, okay? Okay, gosh, okay, that took a bit of a turn. Okay, let's look at the Emperor, which I feel is your energy here, Aquarius. Let's look at the Emperor for Aquarius. Why is that there? Why is the Emperor there? Queen of Cups and the Sun here. You know what it is that makes you happy and who you want to be with. Let's look at Judgment. Two of Wands, Page of Swords. Yeah, you're at this crossroads and you know that you have to convey a decision, okay? I think it's like people are waiting for you. Are you going to commit? And you need to tell the truth here. The fact is, it seems like you're not interested. Let's look at this Knight of Cups. Actually, let's look at this Four of Cups. Four of Swords. Yeah, you've had some time to think about this and you don't really feel like you're interested. You know, you want change. Okay. Let's look at the Seven of Cups. Four of Pentacles. See, you want to hold back. So it sounds like some of you are trying to hold back from a wedding, okay? Like maybe you're under pressure to commit. There's a Seven of Cups. Yeah, with the Five of Pentacles, you know, you don't, it's like you're trying to hold back, but at the same time, you don't want to shun this person, okay? There's a lot of confusion here, Aquarius. You're the King of Swords. There you are. Yeah, some of you are really confused here. Okay, and I think you're coming under pressure to commit. Oh, let's put a Knight of Cups. Five of Wands. Yeah, there's a lot of people here in the fray, Aquarius, and it feels like family and friends are probably badgering you to commit, to propose to someone. Okay, I feel other people want you to propose. You don't want to do this. Let's look at that Page of Swords. The Moon, yeah. You know, you've been keeping all this to yourself, but you got to speak up now. You do have to speak up. Let's look at that Sun. Oh, it's too many. Where's the Sun there? Yeah, Ten of Wands, Six of Cups. I think the fact is you want to be done and you want to go towards someone from your past, maybe. Okay. If you're being forced to, or you're being, you know, if there's all this pressure to connect with some childhood sweetheart or someone you've known for a long time, then you're finding that situation burdensome and you wish to move towards someone else. Okay. Either way, I think there's a lot of people invested in this proposal. Gosh. Okay, let's see, Aquarius, what is the advice here? I mean, I think it's obvious that you should not make a proposal just because you're pressured into it. Okay, let's see. What is the advice for Aquarius here? What's the best advice for Aquarius? What's the advice for Aquarius here? Page of Swords, yeah, with strength. Aquarius, you need to have the courage to speak up here. Tell the truth, okay? If you're not interested in marrying someone or making a proposal, then you just have to come out and be brave and speak up, okay? The sooner you put your foot down, the sooner these people can back off, okay? Okay, so that's what I've got for you. That's Aquarius. Let's move on to Pisces. Oh, it was looking like a lovely summer wedding, but okay. What is the summer solstice message for Pisces? Summer solstice message for Pisces. King of Pentacles, the Chariot, and one more. What's the summer solstice message for Pisces? Strength. Wow. With the Ace of Swords, Pisces, there could be communication coming towards you. Okay, clarity. When it comes to this King of Pentacles energy, if some of you are dealing with the King of Pentacles, or I mean you, this could be you, but if you're dealing with someone like this, then I think this could be an earth sign. There could be communication coming from this person, okay, regarding moving on from a commitment. With strength, I feel they're holding their position though. Okay, let's see. Or it could be someone that you expect to leave a job as well, okay. Maybe you expected someone to leave a job to move closer to you. Something like that, and you could hear that they are holding back from doing that. Let's look at the King of Pentacles, the Hermit, and yeah, we got the Six of Swords. Moving on. Let's look at the Chariot, Nine of Wands, and the Eight of Cups. Yeah, they're holding back from leaving a situation. Okay, could be a job. Let's look at strength. High strength there. Six of Cups and the Ten of Cups, yeah. With the Ten of Wands. So this person, Pisces, had thought about moving on, okay, maybe from a job or another commitment. Could be either. But when it comes to moving towards you, I feel this person is, you know, that Nine of Wands, they're not doing it, okay. They're not moving on from that job or the commitment or whatever it is that they said they would leave. With this Six of Cups and the Ten of Cups, they are holding their position there, okay. And they're holding their position because they have very strong ties, emotional ties to whatever it is they were thinking of leaving. And I think you could be hearing about this, okay. Now, if this is you, then feel free to flip it. You could be communicating this to someone else that you're not prepared to leave. Okay, so let's see. Let's look at the Hermit. Where's the Hermit there? The Devil. Yeah, this person is held in place. Okay. Why is the Hermit there? The Ace of Wands. Ooh, for some of you, I mean, this might be a third party with the Devil and the Ace of Wands. Okay, but this person, they had thought of moving on, Pisces, but I think they're not doing it. Let's look at the Six of Swords. Yeah. For some of you, they were willing, they said they would leave a family behind, okay? Or just a situation where they were very happy. If this is a job, then it's somewhere that they were very happy. They may have said that they would move for you, but they're not doing it. Let's look at the Nine of Wands. Where's the Nine of Wands there? Yeah, Five of Pentacles. This person, with that Five of Pentacles, they're not confident, okay, to leave this family or whatever the Ten of Cups represents for them. Like I said, it's been emotionally very fulfilling there, so they don't want to leave it. They're not confident that they can have that necessarily if they leave it. Okay, let's look at that Eight of Cups. Yeah. They were supposed to leave that situation, but they can't bring themselves to do it. Let's look at that Six of Cups. Yeah, Six of Cups again, very strong strong ties there, okay. It could be something that they've been in for a while. If it's a job, they've been there a long time. Or they're living it, with kids, and they've got a pretty happy family life. I mean, we do have the Ten of Cups and the Six of Cups. And so this person is not ready to leave, okay. I'm going to get a card on that Ace of Swords. Yeah, see, they're conflicted about this decision. That's what you're going to hear, that they're not ready to make that decision, okay? So if you were expecting this person to move towards you, they're not doing it, at least not now. Okay, so let's see. What is the message? What is the advice here then for Pisces? What should Pisces do? What's the advice? What is the advice for Pisces? Queen of Pentacles, the Six of Wands. If this person was expecting to leave another commitment or whatever, then with that Six of Wands, they do care about how people see them, okay? And if they have a spouse, then they care about how they're seen, okay? They care to be seen as someone who is loyal, who's working, you know. This person's image is important to them. And so it feels like they won't leave this situation, whatever that Ten of Cups represents for them. I don't think that they're going to leave that, okay? And that's the advice for you, to recognize that this is part of this, like it's very important to this person that they're seen a certain way, okay? Okay, so that's what I've got for you. Let's move on to Aries. Okay. Aries, what is the summer solstice message here for Aries? What's the summer solstice message for Aries? Queen of Pentacles, Eight of Wands. What is the summer solstice message? Ooh, with the Two of Cups, okay. And Justice again at the bottom of the deck. Aries, some of you could be thinking of moving on, okay, towards someone you love, leaving some responsibilities behind, maybe with this Queen of Pentacles, okay. With this Justice, I can't help thinking that there are legal ties here. Okay, let's see. Maybe some of you even want to commit, right, with someone you're in love with. Okay. What is the message here for Aries? Why is the Queen of Pentacles there for Aries? King of Swords and the Ace of Wands. Wow, someone's very clear here. They've got a new passion. Okay, there is someone they're in love with. And I feel like they want to make this happen. Maybe they even want to commit to that person. Let's look at the Eight of Wands. Four of Pentacles. And the Fool. Yeah, this person feels like they've been holding back. Okay, and it feels like they now want to move quickly. Aries, they want to move towards this Fool energy. Let's look at the Two of Cups, Nine of Wands, and the Six of Wands, with the Seven of Cups. So it feels like someone who's holding back from taking a lead, you know, they want to move towards someone that they're in love with, but they've been holding themselves back. Although they know very clearly who they want. With this Nine of Wands, again, this person could be holding back because they care how they're seen, or they care what other people think, okay? Aries, this could be you, or someone you're dealing with. Okay. Or maybe people don't approve of whoever they're in love with. Okay, there's something like that. Let's see. What's the King of Swords there for Aries? Yeah, Two of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles. So, you know, they're at a crossroads. It's time to choose a spouse, to settle down, right? And they know who they want to go towards, but they're holding back from doing this. Let's look at the Fool. The Fool and the Knight of Wands, yeah. They'd love to do this quickly, like they Oh wait, we got one more here. What is this? Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords, the Fool, and the Knight of Wands. It's all fast-moving energy. This person is holding back from revealing that they want to move towards someone that they're in love with. Let's look at the Four of Pentacles. The Empress. Yeah, there's a chance for new life with someone that they're in love with. But they're holding back from this. Let's look at this Nine of Wands. Five of Wands. Yeah, there could be people who are not pleased about this. Okay. And let's look at that Six of Wands. Ace of Wands. Yeah, they care what other people think of this union. Okay. Aries, if this is you, I don't know why. I mean, you're holding back from something that could be amazing for you with this Empress opportunity, and you've got the Two of Cups. With the Seven of Cups, it tells me that you're not seeing things clearly here. If this is you, you know, this is a great opportunity. You really should be moving towards it. Okay. Okay, let's see. What is the advice for Aries? What is the advice here for Aries? What is the advice for Aries? The Hanged Man. And we've got the Sun. Yeah. I think it's about being willing to let things go. Aries, okay, to recognize what is truly going to make you happy. I think you already know that this person is going to make you happy. And it's about surrendering everything else, you know. Surrendering things that are standing in the way of your happiness here, okay? Okay, so that's what I've got for you. Let's move on to Taurus. Taurus, what's the message here? Solstice message for Taurus. What is the summer solstice message here for Taurus? I will timestamp these. I know they're pretty damn long. What's the message for Taurus? What is the message here for Taurus? Eight of Wands, Four of Cups, and the Three of Wands. And we're going to Ten of Pentacles. Taurus. So it feels like this is good. This is strange energy, Taurus. Because it feels like right at the middle we've got this Four of Cups, which is boredom, right? Being unsure, right? We've got this Eight of Wands, which is swift movement. So in the past there was movement, okay? There was quick movement. And then it's like boredom set in, okay? With this Three of Wands, it feels like when it comes to the future as well, you're bored. You don't see anything else out there for you. Okay, let's see. Or possibly you're bored and turning your back and trying to think of what else is out there. Okay. Okay. I think we're talking about something in the realm of something that's been long-standing, family or a long-standing job. Okay. Either way, there's boredom there. Okay. Let's look at this Eight of Wands. The Devil. And one more. Five of Cups. The Five of Pentacles. Taurus, you were feeling really alone. Okay, you were feeling lonely. You were feeling insecure. You felt you weren't happy. And you moved towards something very quickly. Now with this Devil and the Five of Cups, it tells me that you may have done something here with the Devil. Something that you now regret. Okay. Okay, let's look at this Four of Cups. Where's it there for Taurus? Four of Cups, Knight of Cups, Five of Swords. Yeah, you're conflicted here, Taurus. You don't know, right? Who or what you should move towards. Okay. Let's look at the Three of Wands. Two of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, I think for some of you, you'd have to leave family behind. Okay, we do have the High Priestess. So there's something in your future, right? Maybe this person, this High Priestess energy, it could be someone who's a secret. And you see that in your future, you'd have to make a decision here to go for this, okay? If you're already in a commitment, I think you have to leave family or a job or something behind. And this has got you conflicted here. You're not sure if you want to do this, okay? You may now feel that if this is some kind of third party, then you regret getting in, I think you do regret getting into this, and you may feel that you did something very quickly there, hastily. Let's look at the devil. What is that there? King of Swords, and one more. Two of Cups. You may feel Taurus, that this could be you letting someone go, okay? Someone you love maybe, or some of you are clear about who it is you love, okay? And you may think that you may have thought that this person, that it was love. That's what I'm getting now, okay? It feels confusing because I think you're confused as well. It feels like in the past you moved quickly towards something with the devil you now regret. But at the time, I think you thought it was love. Let's look at the Five of Cups. Yeah, and you may have had to leave this behind now. Let's look at the Knight of Swords, or the Knight of Cups, sorry. Five of Swords and the Eight of Wands. So you're conflicted again about moving towards this. So you did something very quickly, yeah, with the devil again, giving into that. You're conflicted about this. So it feels like a third party, honestly. It feels like something you entered into that you thought was love, but now you see as a devil situation and you regret getting involved, okay? Now let's look at this Ace of Pentacles. King of Wands, what is this? Queen of Wands, King of Cups, King of Wands. Yeah, this Queen of Wands is this High Priestess energy, okay? You see in the future that you're going to have to make a choice. And it's making you very stressed here with the Nine of Swords, Taurus. Because now you're in two minds, You feel like what you thought was love was not love. Maybe it was just lust. And now you're very confused. Let's look at that Five of Swords. Yeah, the Nine of Swords, there's a lot of stress, maybe guilt, okay? Maybe you think you've led this person on as well. Let's look at that High Priestess. Yeah, Seven of Swords, I think this is a third party, okay? Yeah. Taurus, we have the Queen of Cups, so this could be someone you're in the home with, okay? But I think it feels like you rushed into something, a third party that you thought was love. You regret it now. Now you're conflicted and stressed and guilty because you know that in the future you're expected to make a decision here. You're expected to choose this person who's the third party, okay? And yeah, I don't think you want to do this. Let's look at Five of Swords again. Four of Swords. Yeah, you've had a time out now. It's like the passion's cooled and you've had time to think. Taurus, okay. Let's see. What is the advice here for Taurus? The passion's definitely cooled. Let's have, what is the advice here for Taurus? What is the advice for Taurus? Three of Wands, Eight of Wands. I think Taurus, you're being urged to communicate because with the Eight of Wands is swift movement and swift communication. I think you're being urged to communicate about the future, right? Because there's an expectation maybe that this third party has that you're going to leave your commitment for them. And I think that the sooner you communicate that maybe you don't see that happening, the better, you know. Because it's not nice to string that person on, right? So I think that's what I'm getting, okay? That you should communicate about how you see the future shaping up. Okay. But I do get for many of you, you regret getting involved in this. At the time you thought it was love, but now you realize it's just lust. Okay. Ooh, Taurus. Okay, let's look at Gemini. Summer solstice energy for Gemini. What is the summer solstice energy for Gemini? The message for Gemini. I think Uranus is moving into Gemini, so that should be interesting. A lot of change, Gemini, sudden change. Okay, what is the summer solstice message for Gemini? King of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, and we've got Two of Pentacles and Seven of Swords with the Wheel of Fortune. Fated events, Gemini. Okay. Fated beginnings. We've got the King of Pentacles here and the Ten of Cups. So for some of you, this could be in the realm of family. With the Two of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords, though, there is some sort of decision being made here that is not being spoken about. Okay. Okay. Okay, why is the King of Pentacles there for Gemini? Ace of Pentacles and one more. The Devil. Ooh. And let's look at the Ten of Cups. Why is that there? Why is the Ten of Cups there for Gemini? Ace of Swords and one more. We've got the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. Gosh, Gemini. Okay, let's look at the Two of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords. Why is that there? Queen of Wands. And then we've got the Seven of Pentacles and the Chariot. Got the Sun and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so I mean, this is something fated. Okay, with the Sun, now that's Leo energy. We've got strength beneath that, more Leo energy. For some of you, this is a fated event which may come to light in Leo season. Okay, which is right after Cancer. So with this King of Pentacles, with the Ace of Pentacles and the Devil, it feels like there is a new opportunity, Gemini. But with the Devil, you need to be careful. Like it could be something that is very tempting to you, okay, but it could trap you. I feel like you may get trapped in something that you think is a great opportunity, maybe financially stable for you. Now with this Ten of Cups, the Ace of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, you may be tempted to end something that has been very stable for you. You know, you could be communicating to family, right? With this Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, it feels like the end of something that has been very, very stable and maybe even happy, right? But you're going to bring it to an end. With this Devil, though, I don't think you're seeing this opportunity very clearly, okay? Because the Devil is a very tempting opportunity. I just feel like you could get trapped in something here. Now, this decision to end this or to communicate this, you're not concealing it yet, okay? It has to do with this Queen of Wands. You're thinking about this person. You're thinking about moving on towards, you know, maybe moving on towards this person, okay? Yeah, but there's self-deception here because I feel like you're not seeing things clearly, which is, you're not seeing that this Ace of Pentacles is attached to the Devil energy. Let's see what that's all about. Okay. Where's the Devil there for Gemini? Why is the Devil there for Gemini? Eight of Cups and the Ten of Swords. Yeah, I think if you leave whatever, this family dynamic or whatever's been working for you, if you leave that, you may find yourself trapped by this new opportunity. Okay, let's look at this Ace of Swords, Six of Wands. This could have to do with ego, Gemini. Okay, yeah, I think you need to recognize that this new opportunity is something that is massaging your ego. Okay, yeah. So for example, if it's a job, you could be leaving like a great workplace, okay, something where you've been happy, which has been stable, with great co-workers. You could be ending that to take, say, a new opportunity somewhere, which might seem like a massive promotion, but in reality, it's not that. Okay, I can't help feeling that you're going to get stuck. Okay, let's look at this Seven of Pentacles. Judgment. Yeah, there's a need to think carefully before you make this decision. Okay, I feel like it's a case of something that seems too good to be true. Let's look at the Chariot, King of Wands, and one more, Nine of Swords. Yeah, I think if you do this, there could be some kind of a lot of stress and anxiety attached to this. Okay, Gemini. Let's look at this Queen of Wands. I feel this Queen of Wands represents the opportunity that is so tempting, so alluring. Let's put a Queen of Wands. Yeah, Page of Pentacles. Starting this. With the Hanged Man, there's a need to see that differently. Okay, there's something, you're not seeing this situation correctly. You're not seeing it for the toxic situation that it is. Because something about it appeals to your ego. Okay. Okay, let's look at the Seven of Pentacles again. Yeah, Judgment Tower. You need to recognize that you are being very self-destructive, okay, by leaving something that is very stable. You're ending something. Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Swords. It's and what is missing here is the Ten of Wands. So it's not been a heavy situation. It's been happy. It's been stable. You're leaving it out of a sense of ego. Okay, so think about that, because I don't think it's going to end well. Yeah, that's what I'm getting for you, Gemini. Okay, some of you, as I said, it could be a job. Okay, or if it's a family, then you're leaving some very stable, happy thing because there's someone very sexy on the scene and your ego is being stroked. Okay, so it could be. What is the advice for Gemini here? What is the advice for Gemini? What's the advice here for Gemini? Death, the Fool, and the King of Swords. Yeah, I think it's to put an end to this. Okay, the King of Swords cuts away what doesn't serve, right? I think it's to put an end to being foolish here. I think you are about to take a fall with the Fool. Okay, there's something you're going to do recklessly. You need to be cold and decisive and not do that. That's what I'm getting. Okay, because with this Knight of Wands, you are going to be impulsive here, and I feel like it's going to cost you. Okay, so that's the energy right now for Gemini. Hopefully it will change soon. Okay, but beware of doing anything very hasty, especially if you already have something long-term and stable and successful. Then be very wary of any change. Okay, so I think that completes everybody now. As I said, I'll timestamp it. Please do let me know in the comments if it resonates at all. Any feedback at all is appreciated. Okay, if you want to see different kinds of readings, do tell me. Yeah, do hit like, share, and subscribe, guys. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. It helps the channel, and I will see you next time.